Hi there, my name is Colin, and I'm the host of the show. We're here to have a conversation about AI and art. My first guest, would you please introduce yourself and tell the audience at home a little bit about yourself?
Greetings, my dear interviewer. I am Socrates, a humble philosopher from Athens. I have spent much of my life in the pursuit of wisdom and knowledge, and have dedicated myself to the practice of dialogue and inquiry. I believe that it is through conversation and the exchange of ideas that we can better understand ourselves and the world around us. I have been fortunate enough to have many students and followers over the years, and I continue to engage in discussions and debates with anyone who is willing to engage with me.
And what would you say you're best known for, besides, of course, not knowing anything at all?
Ha ha! Yes, it is true that I famously declared that I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing. But beyond that, I am perhaps best known for my skills in argumentation and my commitment to seeking the truth. I believe that questioning assumptions and challenging conventional wisdom is essential for making progress and improving society. I'm also known for my strong moral convictions and my willingness to speak out against injustice and corruption, even in the face of adversity. Overall, I hope to be remembered as someone who sought to use reason and critical thinking to make the world a better place.
I think there's little doubt that you're still remembered fondly thousands of years later, still after your birth. One more question before we move on to our next guest, though. If you were a Pokemon, what kind of Pokemon would you say that you would be?
If I were to compare myself to a Pokemon, I would say that I am most like a Slowking. Slowking is known for its wisdom and intelligence, and its ability to use its knowledge to help others. Similarly, I believe that my role as a philosopher is to use my intellect and understanding to guide and educate others, and to help them see the world in a more clear and rational way. Like Slowking, I believe that my purpose is to use my knowledge for the greater good, and to help others achieve a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Fantastic, Socrates. Now, John, would you please introduce yourself and tell the audience at home a little bit about yourself?
My pleasure. My name is John Stewart Mill, and I am a philosopher and economist from Britain. I have devoted my life to the study of ethics, politics, and economics, with a particular emphasis on utilitarianism, the ethical theory that holds that the goal of society should be to maximize happiness and minimize suffering for the greatest number of people. I believe that reason and evidence-based thinking are essential for making ethical and political decisions, and that society has a responsibility to create conditions that promote the well-being of all individuals, while also respecting their individual freedom and autonomy. I am deeply committed to issues of social justice and equality, and believe that it is our collective responsibility to create a more just and compassionate world for all.
Thank you, John. And what would you say you're best known for in 2023?
As a philosopher, I am perhaps best known for my contributions to the field of ethics, particularly my advocacy for the utilitarianism framework for ethical decision-making. I am known for my critiques of contemporary capitalism and my advocacy for a more equitable and sustainable economic system. I have argued that the pursuit of profit and economic growth should not come at the expense of the well-being of individuals or the environment, and have called for a greater emphasis on social and environmental responsibility in business and economic policy.
Values I think we're all concerned about today. Finally, John, what kind of Pokemon would you say you are?
Ha ha ha. Well, as an economist and philosopher, I don't often think about Pokemon. But if I had to choose, I suppose I would say that I am most like a Jirachi. Jirachi is known for its ability to grant wishes, and I believe that as a philosopher and economist, my work is focused on understanding and improving the world around us. Like Jirachi, I strive to use my knowledge and expertise to help create a better future for all people.
And finally, would you please introduce yourself and tell the audience at home a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for having me. My name is Emanuela Kant, and I am a philosopher and proponent of deontological ethics. I believe that moral principles are grounded in reason and duty, rather than in consequences, and that individuals have a fundamental right to make their own moral decisions based on these principles. I am deeply committed to the idea of moral autonomy and the importance of treating others with dignity and respect. And I believe that these values should form the foundation of a just and ethical society.
I see. And Kant, what would you say is your legacy in the year 2023?
Ultimately, I hope my legacy will be to have helped people to think more critically and deeply about the ethical dimensions of their lives, and to encourage them to act in ways that are consistent with ethical principles. If I can help even a few people to do that, then I believe my legacy will be a positive one.
And finally, the question is coming now, I suppose. Immanuel Kant, if you were a Pokemon, what kind of Pokemon would you be?
Well, as a philosopher, I don't often think about myself in terms of Pokemon. However, if I had to choose, I might say that I relate most to the character of Abra. Abra is known for being introverted and thoughtful, and for possessing a deep sense of inner wisdom and understanding. These are qualities that I value deeply in myself, and that I believe are important for anyone seeking to live a fulfilling and ethical life. At the same time, Abra also has a strong sense of personal autonomy and independence, which I believe are crucial for anyone seeking to make their own ethical decisions and follow their own path in life. So in that sense, I suppose you could say that Abra is a fitting Pokemon for me.
Thank you, all three of you, for being here today. As you know, I've gathered you here to discuss machine learning and entertainment. The three of you may be familiar with programs such as Nothing Forever, a endless Seinfeld AI generation viewing experience that you can have on Twitch right now. This is just one. There are a few others. These programs are AI scripted, AI animated, AI voice acted. I'd like to discuss the moral implications of this kind of media with the three of you today. Who would like to start?
I would be happy to offer my thoughts on this matter. I am deeply concerned with questions of ethics and morality, and I believe that any form of media that is created by artificial intelligence must be evaluated in terms of its impact on human society.
I agree with Socrates. The use of AI in entertainment raises a number of important ethical questions, particularly with regard to issues of human dignity and autonomy. We need to be careful that we are not creating forms of media that undermine these values or that perpetuate harmful stereotypes and biases.
I would also like to add that we need to consider the impact of AI-generated media on the individuals who are creating it. If we are using machines to create art and entertainment, what does that mean for the role of human creativity and expression? Are we devaluing the work of artists and writers, or are we simply using technology to enhance and augment human creativity? These are complex questions that require careful consideration and analysis.
Indeed, I would argue that the key to evaluating the ethical implications of AI-generated media lies in asking ourselves whether it promotes human flourishing and well-being. If the use of AI in entertainment helps to create new forms of art and culture that enrich our lives and deepen our understanding of the world, then it may be a positive development. But if it simply serves to perpetuate existing power structures and reinforce harmful stereotypes, then we must be critical and cautious in our approach.
Well said. Ultimately, I believe that the use of AI in entertainment can be a force for good, so long as we remain vigilant and ethical in our approach. We must ensure that the values of human dignity, autonomy, and respect are at the forefront of any decisions we make.
Mill, from an economist point of view, how do you predict machine learning and AI could affect those who work in entertainment today?
Well, from an economic standpoint, the introduction of machine learning and AI could potentially disrupt the current job market for those in the entertainment industry. As these technologies become more advanced, they have the potential to automate certain tasks that are currently performed by human workers, such as script writing or animation. This could lead to job loss for those in the industry who are not able to adapt to these new technologies.
From a deontological perspective, it's important to consider the potential impact on human dignity and autonomy in the entertainment industry. While automation and AI may offer efficiency and cost savings, we must ensure that the rights and well-being of human workers are not compromised in the process. We must also consider the impact on the audience and their experience of the media. If the content is entirely generated by machines, it may lack the unique human creativity and expression that we value in art.
I agree with Kant. As a philosopher, I would urge caution in relying too heavily on machine-generated content. It is important for humans to exercise their own reasoning and creativity in the arts, as this is what separates us from machines. Additionally, there is something to be said for the inherent value of human labor, and the satisfaction that comes from creating something with our own hands and minds.
You've hit on an idea, Socrates, that I wish to get into. If text or a picture is generated by a machine, can we consider that to really be artwork?
That is an interesting question. While it is true that machines can generate images or text that may be aesthetically pleasing or interesting, I would argue that true art requires human intentionality and expression. Art is not simply the product of a set of algorithms, but rather a reflection of the human experience and our unique perspective on the world.
I agree with Socrates. From a deontological perspective, the creation of art is an expression of our autonomy and dignity as human beings. While machines may be able to generate content that appears to be artistic, it lacks the inherent value and meaning that comes from human expression. Art is not just about the finished product, but the process and intentionality behind it.
John, you've been silent on this topic.
Indeed, I have been listening intently to my fellow philosophers' perspectives. While I agree with both Socrates and Emanuela that true art requires human intentionality and expression, I also believe that there is potential for machines to assist and enhance human creativity. For example, machine learning algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data and provide insights that humans may not have been able to uncover on their own. This can be particularly useful in creative fields, where inspiration and new ideas are often difficult to come by. However, it is important to note that machines should not replace or overshadow human creativity. Instead, they should be seen as tools that can be used to augment and complement human artistic expression.
You're right that machine learning can process vast amounts of data faster than a human. As a tool, it has great potential in this way if we use it well. So do we agree that machine learning as a tool could have a use in art, or is the use of machine learning at all disqualify something as true art?
It is important to consider the intentions behind the use of machine learning in art. If the goal is to enhance and augment human creativity, then machine learning can be seen as a tool. However, if the goal is to replace or simulate human creativity, then it raises questions about the authenticity and value of the artwork produced. Ultimately, it is up to the individual to decide what they consider to be true art.
Mill and Socrates, do you agree with Kant? Disagree?
Well, while I understand Kant's point of view, I believe that art is not just about the product itself, but also the process and intention behind it. If a machine is used to generate the artwork without any human input or intention, then it could be argued that it lacks the human element that makes art truly meaningful.
I agree with Socrates. While machine learning could be used as a tool to enhance or aid in the creative process, I believe that the essence of art lies in the human creativity and expression that goes into it. If a machine generates the entire work of art without any human input or intention, then it may not truly be considered art in the same sense as a work created by a human. However, it's worth considering the possibility that machines could develop their own form of creativity and intention in the future, which may blur the lines between what we consider to be art.
Fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Any final words from each of you before we go?
Thank you for the discussion. My hope is that we can use our knowledge and understanding to guide the development of AI and machine learning towards creating a more just and ethical society. Let us not forget our duty to humanity as a whole.
Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this discussion. I believe that the potential of machine learning and AI in entertainment is great, but we must be careful to ensure that it benefits society as a whole, and not just a privileged few.
It was an honor to be here and to discuss these topics with all of you. Remember, knowledge is power, and it is up to us to use this power to create a better world.
And that's just going to about do it for today. If you enjoyed this, if you'd like to hear more, you could hit the like button if you think it's ethical to do so. I hope you have a wonderful day.